All right. Hello. Hey, everybody. Hello. Happy Saturday. I told y'all I was coming on Saturday. Instagram, shout out to y'all. I've been forgetting about y'all, but I'm not going to lie. On Instagram has been messing up with me in these lives. Like, it's not really letting people know when I'm live and stuff. And it's a bit frustrating. So I'm going to be on here for a minute, but if it's still showing this, we're telling your followers that you started a live video. I'm gonna close it out. So if anybody does jump on, come on over to YouTube or Facebook because that's normally where we're at. So let's get ready to get into it. I know that it's a Saturday and you could be doing anything in the world. So forgive me, y'all, on YouTube and Facebook. I'm going like this. I'm on YouTube on YouTube. I'm on Instagram as well right now. And it's still doing it. I'm just gonna close this out because it's still doing it. I don't know why this does that. Anyway, so I have to close it out, y'all. Forgive me. Be patient with me, y'all. I really appreciate it. I really appreciate it. Okay, so here we go. Let's get into it. Move this light over this way some, so that way that looks better. Sorry. Okay, here we are. Yay, we're here. Okay, so let's get into it. I'm really excited about today because we're going to be touching on our final. We are in the grand finale. Let's just say that this is the final part of the Trading Trauma series. If you have not been joining, then that means that in the description of this video, you might want to go back and check out parts 1, 2, and 3, and then watch this, okay? But for everyone that has been tuning in, first of all, I want to say thank you so very much for consistently tuning in, showing up for you, but also supporting me in the process. This entire series has hopefully has helped you, but it has definitely helped me to identify some areas where I can stand to improve because I didn't realize that there were things that I was still holding on to from my trading journey. So yeah, it definitely works. It definitely works, especially if you do the work and you're doing the homework. So I'm gonna do a quick introduction and then we're gonna get into everything after the whole formalities that we do. So, for those of you that are new, thank you so very much for tuning in to this YouTube channel. My name is Leona Clark, and I currently reside in Texas with my family, my husband, our 16-year-old, and soon to be 17-year-old. Oh my gosh, she's about to be 17. Our soon to be 17-year-old and our 4-year-old in this area. And I actually did 20 years. I retired after doing 20 years and 3 months in the Army, active duty. I was like, that's it, I'm out. But during that time, while I was in the Army, I was introduced to trading. First, I was introduced to cryptocurrency trading, and then I was introduced to the foreign exchange market, trading that. And then eventually in 2020, I came back to it and I started doing both again. And then in 2021, when I retired from the Army, that is when I started trading full time. So, all combined, I have been trading almost 6 years. 6 years will be in December. So I'm looking forward to just sharing with you all some of the things that I have learned in my almost 6 years of trading, and then also some of the things that I'm still learning and that I'm implementing today, which is the goal of this series, is to help you, just like it has helped me, to identify those things that we don't realize may be impacting how we trade. That's called trading trauma. There's some type of emotional or psychological impact, some scenario, some situation that has occurred and has impacted us in a way to where we're still holding on to that trauma and it's causing us to not necessarily move all the way forward. And so hopefully if you have watched part 1, 2, and 3 and you've done the homework, you're seeing some growth and you getting back on the saddle, or you're starting to see that consistency build back up in your trading. Okay. And I'm talking about consistent positive movement in the market. So that's what we're looking for. That is the goal of this series, is to help everyone get from that point where you're frustrated to now, hey, look, I'm feeling much better about myself, my strategy, and also the future of me trading. So whatever market you're trading in, whether it's a stock market, cryptocurrency, foreign exchange, it doesn't matter. This series can help you with any form of trading. Also, can help my people who are investing as well. So a quick bit of housekeeping. Y'all remember, please, if you're on YouTube, most definitely hit the thumbs up first, and then you can hit the hearts and stuff. If I'm saying something that you're like, yeah, that's me, that's me. Okay. If you're on Facebook, do your thing. Like, heart, whichever one you feel comfortable with doing. And then also, y'all subscribe on YouTube if you have not subscribed yet, and also hit that notification bell on YouTube if you have not already, so that way you know when I'm going live. Because October we're going to have a whole new series, okay? And that's going to be based off of what the community says they want to hear about. All right. And then last thing, y'all, I know that sometimes we don't want to share with people, our journey and everything, but I'm sharing my journey. I'm also sharing some things that can help you, and also can help someone else that you may know that is struggling with trading, whatever market that may be. So just be a good friend, okay? Be a good colleague, be a good acquaintance, whatever, and just share it with them. You don't have to ask them, did you watch it? Did you watch it? No, just share it with them. If they watch it, great. If they don't, it's okay. You did your part and you shared it with them. And I would appreciate it, because that is another form of support to this channel. So thank you all so very much in advance for sharing this video with at least one person that is in the trading space, but also could potentially be struggling and they need a little nudge to help them to get over that trading trauma. All right. So really quick, part 3 of this trading trauma series, we focus on emotional discipline and also the importance of maintaining control while we're trading. So I introduced, I should say, key mindfulness techniques, right? Talked about breathing exercises before you even look at the market. Also talked about structuring your trading routine. So there should be certain things you're doing every single time before you enter the market. And all of these things were to just help you as a trader to stay calm and focused. It is very easy, which we all know, it's very easy to get distracted, and it's very easy to get emotional if you are not practicing certain things to help you to overcome that, okay? And then additionally, I share with you all the concept of detachment. So treating each trade as independent and not letting your wins or your lessons in the market affect your confidence. We need to build up our confidence, and that was one of the things that we've talked about in the past, but also in part 3. Again, these strategies are just designed to help you as a trader to make more rational, disciplined decisions, and of course, avoid emotional trading mistakes. All right. So if you're ready, let me know. Type "I'm ready" in the chat if you're watching live, in the comments if you're watching a replay. Shout out to y'all watching a replay. Type "I'm ready" in the chat or in the comments, so that way I know that you are ready. Now, here's what we're going to do today. We're going to talk about a couple of things. We're going to touch on resilience. We're going to talk about some key things that we can do to build a growth mindset. And then also, of course, you're going to get some homework. All right. So first things first, we're going into what is resilience. So if any of you have been a part of my journey, as far as trading goes, and definitely if you were with me prior to exiting and retiring from the military, you will know that I have gone to school, thanks to the Army, gone to school for resiliency, like to become a master resilience trainer. And so resilience is simply the ability to recover from setbacks, okay, and then keep moving forward. We don't want to dwell in a specific area. We don't want to dwell in a mentality of defeat, fear, frustration, none of those things. We want to continue to move forward. Resilience is one of those things that strengthens us to help us to see these things as, okay, it may be a character building moment, it may be a hurdle, but guess what? I can get through it because I am properly equipped to do so, okay? So that is resilience, all right? Now we're going to get ready, y'all, to dive all the way into this lesson. I'm going to share some strategies and tips on how to build a growth mindset. So first things first, building a growth mindset. All right. And hey, if y'all have any questions, make sure that you write them down. And then at the end of this, if you have any questions, by all means, type it in the chat. Or if you're watching a replay, you can type it in the comments. So that way I can answer your question. Okay. So building the growth mindset, let's get to it. First thing we want to think about is when we have this type of mindset, we as traders tend to see our losses more as lessons because we are learning. There's learning opportunities in those lessons that we have in the market. In trading, y'all, we already know you're going to take some L's. There's no way around it. That's inevitable, right? But how you view them makes all the difference. It can actually make or break you. That's that's the reason for this series. Okay, so instead of letting that lesson and discourage you and get you to a point where it's like, oh man, see, that's why maybe trading isn't for me, so on and so forth. Listen, you can now treat it as a valuable lesson. This is what something that I share with the people that I teach, okay? Some of my students, previous students and whatnot. I always use the phrase collect data. I'm going to tell you something. This has helped me. Even now, I'm doing a different type of strategy, something I haven't done in like years. But I sat on Thursday, when I was trading. Each one of those trades, I looked at the chart while it was moving, while I was in the trade, and I wanted to see how I felt during that time. There were times where there were pullbacks during those trades, right? I wanted to see if I was going to feel like, oh, should I get out or whatever. Those thoughts did not cross my mind. So what that told me was, okay, you're not there. You're not in that worry, anxious mode when you're in a trade, which is really great because I wasn't using a trailing stop loss. So I wanted to see how I felt without that tool, right? And me sitting there watching, it's going up, it's going down, it's going from red to blue, red to blue. On MetaTrader 4, you'll see it. It's red and blue and whatnot. So red is like, oh, it's not going in your favor. Blue means it's going in your favor. It's going in your direction. So it will bounce back between red and blue. So I wanted to see, how did I feel during that trade instead of stepping away. No, I want to test. I want to push myself to make sure that in that area, there's no trading trauma lingering. And I found that there's no trading trauma lingering there. So I'm like, okay, cool. Well, let's keep this going, right? So what you want to do is look at, while you're in a trade, after you exit a trade, either in profit or a loss, a lesson. Now this is your opportunity to collect data. Every trade provides you with data to make a more informed decision moving forward. And it also decreases your chances of making an emotional decision, which typically results in loss when considering entering the market. So if we can look at it when we're potentially going to get into the market, if we can prepare our minds before we go, we do our breathing exercises, we do our visualization, if that's what you want to do, meditation, whichever form, okay, of mindfulness you want to do before getting into the market, tell yourself, hey, I am just coming here to collect data. I want to see what the market is going to do. That's it. Follow your strategy to a T and collect the data. Remember, y'all, after losing each trade, you want to start asking yourself certain questions, which is what I've started doing, and this is what I teach. What happened? Like, if it was a lesson, right? If you did take a L in the market, what went wrong? Okay, or what do you perceive went wrong? Did you enter too early? Did you enter too late? You know what I'm saying? Did you deviate completely from your strategy? Was there something in the market that you weren't prepared for, that you didn't account for? Did you make a larger take profit than you would have initially done? Did you make establish a larger stop loss than you normally would, and your lot size didn't account for that, so on and so forth? All of these things, think about those things, because I want you to think about this. When you analyze your lessons, those losses that you may incur in the market, you can now pivot, you can adjust, you can improve your strategy and avoid making the same mistakes in the future. This mindset turns failure into a stepping stone. That's it. That's all. So now you're getting much closer to that success you seek in trading, and it's helping you to grow stronger with every single experience. I'll give you an example of what I mean by looking back and asking yourself those questions. I teach my students. I teach them After each trade, whether you win or take a lesson, just go back and look at it. I also, wherever you entered at, draw a vertical line. Put a vertical line on your chart, whether it's in your broker account, whether it's a trading view, doesn't matter. Put a vertical line there where you entered the market at. And after that trade has closed and you have your take profit area established on either in your broker account, I'm talking about the actual horizontal line now, a horizontal line identifying your take profit and a horizontal line identifying your stop loss. This way, when you exit the trade, even though you're writing it in your journal, you can go back to the chart and see, okay, this was a win. Well, why was it a win? All right, cool. It did exactly what I saw prior to. It made sense. Got it. But if it turned into a lesson in the market, okay, let me go back. My vertical line showing me where I entered the market at. My two horizontal lines showing me where I established a potential profit area and also where I established my stop loss. What did the market show me prior to that for me to say to get into this trade, and also for me to establish these areas as my profit and my stop loss? Okay, is this just market conditions, or was it something that I did that wasn't part of my trading strategy? I'm telling y'all, it makes the world of difference. It does. I took a lesson in my account because, like I said, I'm testing something else out. So I'm trading in my demo account, testing something out, and I realized that my stop loss was a little too close for what I was trading. I took a lesson. That was one trade. Well, actually, yeah, that was one trade that I knew, like, it still went in my direction, but my stop loss was a little too close. And I'm like, okay, so now I know this is what I'm doing moving forward. So now when I trade that thing again, I think it was US 30. So when I trade that again, now I'm going to know, okay, this is where these are the areas that I'm looking to place my stop loss, right? If that makes sense, let me know. Put it in the chat if that makes sense. And if you're watching a replay, you can put it in the comments. If that makes sense, let me know. But this is how you can improve and increase your confidence, but also you can get to the point where you're building that growth mindset. All right. Oops, I pressed something. Can y'all still hear me and see me? On my end, it doesn't look right. Okay. I guess that was the internet. I don't know. Okay, looks good again. But if you can hear me and see me just fine, let me know. All right. But yeah, so don't forget, y'all, as you okay, I got you. It makes sense. Cool. Don't forget to hit the thumbs up. Hit that thumbs up button on YouTube. Of course, Facebook, y'all can hit the like, heart, whichever one. And then if you haven't already, hit the subscribe button as well as press that notification bell, and don't forget, share, because sharing is caring. All right. Now, let's get into the second thing that I want to talk about to help us build up emotional resilience and, of course, minimize the risk of burnout when we are trading. Now, here's the thing. I want us, every single one of us, and I say us because I still trade, right? I want every single one of us to continue to educate ourselves. We have to stay up to date on market trends, strategies, and personal development. Hence why I just shared with you all, I'm actually going back and I'm doing something that I did some years ago, and I'm seeing if it still applies to the market today. What time frames can I use this particular strategy on? Or is it universal? I can use it from the 1 minute on up. Like, how can I utilize this? So I'm playing around with it, right? So this is me learning, though. I'm still learning the market and seeing if things change. I am going to other people that have been trading far longer than me, and I'm listening and seeing if there's something that they're saying that I haven't caught, or they've experienced that I haven't experienced yet, and now I could be better prepared for that thing. Yes, I've been trading almost 6 years, but that doesn't mean that I know everything. No one in any profession knows everything. We can all stand to learn something. Okay? Remember, y'all, the markets are constantly evolving, and so should you as a trader. Remember, successful traders stay informed. And this is because they are regularly learning new strategies, market trends, even personal development techniques. They're going to different events. They are taking different courses. There are people who have been trading for years and they're taking people courses. Why? Because they want to see is if there is something that they haven't paid attention to. Is there some type of software that people are using and is very helpful to enhance their trading experience? What are those things? This is why you do that. You can also continue to learn through reading books. I know sometimes we're like, oh, I don't like to read, whatever. You don't like to read. I hear you. Listen to an audiobook. So instead of playing music while you're driving to work or going to get your hair cut or whatever, you can listen to an audiobook telling you different strategies or certain things to help you to be more emotionally stable when you're trading, to help you to identify certain things, like listening to Trading in the Zone. I have told so many people, every single person I talk to that asks me about trading, I tell them one of the first books you should listen to and or read, like purchase the book, is Trading in the Zone. Why? Because it covers trading psychology. It covers psychology in general. You end up finding out certain things that you heard and experienced as a kid is impacting how you trade today as an adult. So yes, listening to books, reading books, paying for courses. You don't have to pay an arm and a leg, y'all. There are courses out here. People are charging $9.99, $29.99, up to $1,000, $2,000, $5,000, whatever. But get in where you fit in. Attend those free webinars if anyone has it, to see if there's something you haven't thought of that is being shared. Right? Go to the events. Again, there's one that's supposed to be happening in Dubai in November for all these traders to come together. Go to that event, especially if you want to go to Dubai. Go to the event. But y'all, continuous learning helps you to adapt to changing conditions. It also helps to sharpen your skills and remain competitive. So if you want to continue to grow, if you want to elevate your trading, if you want to get to a certain point, whether it's making a certain amount or earning a certain percentage every single day, every single week, every single month, or whatever, this is one of the ways to do it. It's not just about, technical knowledge to y'all. It's about us understanding our emotions. It's understanding that we need to psychologically grow as well. Those things are honestly more important than the technical stuff. As a matter of fact, I'm going to share this with you all because I shared it with people that I've taught. There's a book. If you have not read it, if you have not listened to it, go purchase it. Go listen to it for free if they have it on YouTube, whatever. But it's called Emotional Intelligence 2.0. This will help you with identifying how you are either reacting or responding to the market. Those are two different things. Reacting is the emotion, like, oh my gosh, like I just emotionally. Responding is I have taken my time to analyze all of these things and put these things together, and now I'm making an informed decision on how I'm going to execute in the market. Okay? Because at the end of the day, a commitment to lifelong learning keeps you sharp. And it also prevents complacency. Sometimes we can get comfortable. Yeah, I sat here and the beginning of when did I start doing? I think it was April. Or was it March? Whichever month I started doing the Forex live market analysis on Sundays, right? I started doing those. I was having really great months. You know what I'm saying? With trading. July came and it just like punched me in the throat. And I'm like, okay, you can't get comfortable. All right, let's see how next month go. I went back and I looked and I'm like, okay, well, yeah, I probably still would have took those trades, some of them anyway, and this is not just the live market analysis. Like, no, it was my live trading accounts as well. So July was a rough month for me all the way around and with trading. And so I was like, okay, well, let me just analyze. I'm going in my trading journal, looking, I'm going back and I'm marking and everything. And I'm like, okay, yeah. So I see why I did that. I see why I took that trade. It is what it is. All right, so this is what I'm doing moving forward. August come around for the live Forex market analysis, 12-1. September come around for the live market analysis, 9-0. If I was not working on overcoming that trading trauma, if I was not working on continuously being a student and growing and really developing that trader's mindset, I would not have been able to bounce back from July, because I would have stayed stuck and said, oh man, like July was rough, and da 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 da. And I would have carried that over into August. I would have carried that over into September. Okay. So I want you all to just really put into practice those tips that I have shared in part 3, but also, of course, part 1 and 2, especially when you're feeling like, you're not feeling your best, and, your trading is just like, man, it's up and down. It's a lot of fluctuating. You're 50% and, 40%, but you're not maintaining profit at the end of the week, and so on and so forth. Go back, watch this series, because it may be something that you didn't hear the first time around. You're hearing it at that time is because you needed it at that moment. Okay. So last thing that I'm going to talk about as far as this goes, setting realistic goals. I cannot tell you how many times I have had people talk about what they're going to do with trading and why they want to trade and all this stuff. And it's so like way left field. And I'm not going to lie, y'all, I did it too. And that was partly because of how I was introduced to trading, especially within the foreign exchange market. It's partly how I was introduced to trading, but also because I was a little cocky. I'm not even gonna lie. I'm like, man, I'm smart. You can't tell me I can't do this, right? But I'm gonna tell y'all, when we're talking about setting these realistic goals, I want you to just avoid the pressure of trying to become successful overnight. It's not gonna happen overnight. It may not happen for you in the first year. I know people that personally that have made over $1 million in less than a year of being exposed to trading. Those people, I call them unicorns, because the other thousands of people that I've run across, they were in the negative, or they weren't profitable at all. They were just at zero, right? Canceling out. They'll make some money, lose the money, make some money, lose the money. So they didn't really make anything. They're just like, I'm back at zero at the end of the year. You know what I'm saying? My first year, I wasn't back at zero. I was in the negative. Just being honest, right? So not everybody is going to have that experience where they're, making a boatload of money within their first year of being exposed to trading. You have to be okay with that. Because honestly, y'all, this is one of the common traps for traders, is the pressure to achieve quick success. Because we feel like and I will say part of it, I can't remember who said it, but I was like, I agree 1000%. I do believe, because the bar is so low for you to enter into the market, like you could start with $100. So people have the tendency to believe, or at least convince themselves that, oh, when I could start with 100, I could flip that 100 to 1,000, within a day, and I could flip that 1,000 into 10,000 and 100,000 and so on and so forth in the next week. And listen, in the next few months, I'm making $1 million. That's not realistic, because those unicorns that I spoke of, we have no idea what they did, where their mind was at the time of them being able to accomplish that level of success in that short amount of time. We're not them. They're not us. Let's stay in our lane. Okay? Because honestly, this is why you hear over 90% of traders aren't successful, because of this type of thinking. Many people into this market with unrealistic expectations of like turning that small investment into a fortune overnight. You can't do that, y'all. That's not for everybody. And then what ends up happening is you're disappointed, you're frustrated. Then you get reckless in your decision making. Then you're sitting there looking at the charts and your market or your broker account like, man, how I'm down 13K? How I lost 15K? Well, that's why. Okay. So this is what I'm challenging every single person to do, because these are things that I experienced. I ain't losing no 13K and no month or nothing like that. All right. But anyway, but what I will say is certain things I experienced. And instead of us focusing on that, I want us to focus on setting realistic and achievable goals. Like aiming for steady, consistent growth. That could be small. I always tell people small things lead to big stuff. Small stuff lead to big stuff. I used to say that when I was in the army. I would tell that to my soldiers all the time. Like, yeah, you talking about, oh, it ain't that big of a deal, sorry. Yes, it is. Small stuff lead to big stuff. You sit here and let those little ankle biters keep going by and going by. Guess what? It's going to turn into something big. And you're like, how the heck did we get here? Well, I can tell you how we got here. It's the same thing with trading. Let's focus on taking those small gains. Let's focus on being consistent with following our strategy. Let's focus on making sure that every single trade that we take, we're annotating it in our trading journal. Let's make sure that we are consistent with utilizing a trading plan, following it, adjusting it if we see we need to adjust it. Let's make sure we're doing that stuff, because at the end of the day, y'all, small growth, slow growth, all of that is better than no growth at all. Because if you see that you're not growing, you're not improving anywhere, what are you likely to do? You're most likely to quit. Just say, oh, this ain't for me. I'm going to let this go. That's the most likely thing to happen, is to just let it go, right? Break down your larger goals into smaller, manageable steps, because this is going to keep you motivated. And it's also going to allow you for measurable progress so you can see it over time. Hence why journaling your stuff is going to help you. It helps you to build confidence. If you're saying, oh man, like my emotions, I'm much better with handling, the market and how it's moving before, during, and after a trade. Because you're writing that down, right? You're noticing that you're consistent with earning, let's say, somewhere between 15 and 30 pips. You're more consistent with earning that than the larger amount. Okay, well, cool. So that means you may need to stick to what? Scalping. If you're like somewhere in between 30, 60 pips or something, then maybe you need to stick to day trading. Right? But the only way to know that is you have to write stuff down. You have to document it. Because this approach not only reduces the pressure, y'all, but it also helps you to build confidence and maintain a sustainable trading career for the long term. We do not want to be here for a short time. No, we want to be here for a long time, so that way we can teach our kids, grandkids, nieces, nephews, our little cousins, whoever it is we love. We'll be able to teach them, because guess what? We have consistently done the work on ourselves, and now we have the proof to show. Here's my trading journal. Look at it. Check it out. You'll see when I was like, oh my gosh. But then you'll also see at what month and year it turned around for me. And then you'll see the type of notes I was taking, how I was feeling. You'll see I went from, I jumped the gun. I felt like I was about to miss the move. I felt like I was about to miss my opportunity, to, hey man, I started just following, my strategy. I just collected data. Right? You'll get to that point. But the only way, again, to do that is to do your journaling, to practice these techniques, to follow these tips. All of that stuff that I've shared over the past 3 weeks, follow that stuff in today. Right? All right. So if this is making sense, if this is helping you, if you're like, okay, I'm ready, Leona, I'm ready to close this out, let me know. Say, I got it, Leona. Type, I got it in the chat. Type, I got it in the comments if you're watching a replay. And shout out to you if you're watching a replay. Let me know that I got it. I'm ready to close this series out. Okay? Because the last thing I want to talk to y'all about is AI. AI. You may hear people talking about, oh yeah, I got this algorithm, I got this AI program, I got this. I'm gonna tell y'all something. I am not against any of that. I will tell you this. When you do utilize AI, make sure that the tool that you're using is not replacing what you do as being a student of the market. Okay, that's number one. Number two, if you're going to use someone else's algorithm, program, and whatnot that's leveraging AI, if you're going to use someone else's, I would tell you, number one, only use disposable income that you're not going to miss, money you're not going to miss. So if it's $200, $300 or $400, $500, whatever your cutoff is. Okay, make sure that you're like, hey, if they mess me up, if they say, hey, you put this $200, $300, $500, whatever in here, and we're going to trade for you, just make sure that you are okay with losing that money, because there's no guarantee that someone else's program, someone else's software is going to make you a profit. There's no guarantee. Okay. AI should not replace you being a student of the markets. It should only enhance what you're already doing. Okay. Because we know, clearly that AI has been expanding into different arenas. So, for years. So it's like, it's no secret that it's in trading. All right. But I will say this, 2024 does bring a lot of advanced tools. And I just need you as a trader to remain adaptable and continue learning instead of feeling left behind by this technology. All right. So I'm gonna give you one thing that I know is out there. There is something called like trade execution optimization. This is available. So how this works is AI automates repetitive tasks like monitoring the market, executing trades, and generating reports. This does free up traders to focus on more complex decision making. This does enhance though efficiency, and of course it reduces the chances of human error. However, again, I will say this, y'all. If there is anyone that is offering this type of technology, number one, you got to check their background. Okay. Check out the background of the creators. If you can't find any information on the creators, that's your red flag right there. Seriously. If they're not heavily present on any social media platform, YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, whatever. I don't care. What's this another one now? I was about to say bingo. It start with a B. Whatever. If those creators are not present on any type of social media platform, you can't find any information on them when you do a Google search, whatever. I'm telling you now, more than likely that's a red flag. You might want to stay away from it. Okay. I'm not telling you that you can't do it. Again, there's a risk associated with that. Okay. The other thing is, again, when it comes to the money, y'all, please make sure if you're going to use any of these AI tools, right? If you're going to use them and there's money attached to it, meaning you have to put money into that system, because putting these systems together do cost, right? So there's going to be a fee, whether it's a monthly fee, annual fee, or a one-time fee, whatever. There's going to be a cost associated with it. So you have to be okay with putting money into a software program that may not give you a return on your investment. I have to keep saying that because for whatever reason, we are looking for quick results, and we're overlooking the fact that our risk level right now isn't really designed and set up at this time to handle a $500 loss, a $1,000 loss, a $2,500 loss, a $10,000 loss. Like, if you know that, you need to steer clear of it. Okay? Everybody got it? So I just wanted to share that one. There's a lot of different types of AI software technology out there available for traders. You just have to find, if you want to get into that, you have to find what works for you. Me personally, I'm still at the phase where I'm doing stuff the old-fashioned way. However, I am, researching and using my disposable income for certain things. But I'm gonna tell you right now, the people that I've used so far, none of them have given me anywhere near the return I've earned on my own, let alone giving me profit. And I'm talking about in trading, just in foreign exchange, right? I'm not talking about crypto, but none of them. And then some of them have given a profit, but then they disappear, after you've earned a certain amount or you've been with them for a certain amount of time. So again, y'all, this is a higher risk in utilizing someone else's software that's generated by AI. That's a whole nother risk. You have to decide if that's something you want to do. And, make sure that you're okay with that. All right. She said some may have come from a different platform, which proved to be fraudulent, then started a new platform under a new alias. Absolutely. Absolutely. So this is why you have to do your research before using anyone else's software and technology. Okay? You do. You don't even know. You could be like, well, Leona, well, how do we know about you? I'm here. I give free information on Sundays. You know what I'm saying? I'm even doing the trading trauma series, right? I do live trading on Sundays, which reminds me I won't be doing it this Sunday because I have stuff going on. So. But that's my way of letting you know, like, hey, you can see how I trade. If it works for you, great, take it, run with it, because it's free. If it doesn't work for you, then don't worry about it. Keep it pushing, keep doing whatever you're doing. Right? So that's it. I just wanted to share that when it comes to AI, because there are a lot of people out here offering, talking about, my thing, and they're showing that, oh man, I got these withdrawals, da da da, whatever. That's great that they've gotten it, but not everyone's platform works for every single person, because you have to be in a particular space mentally, emotionally, physically, financially, to be able to utilize those things. Okay. So that's that part. I'm done with it. I'm getting off my soapbox. All right. Hopefully it makes sense to you. Hopefully you're like, okay, I'm taking heed. These are some of the things that I'm going to do moving forward as it pertains to AI. Okay. And trading. Now, with everything, y'all, that I have shared over the past 3 weeks, my hope, and also today, my hope is that you are finding those areas that require, improvement, and you're doing something about it, versus just saying, man, this is not for me, and throwing in the towel. Especially if you have been trading for like some years. Y'all, if it's been a year, 2 years, 3 years, 4 years since you've been exposed to trading, this is not the time to throw in the towel. It's like that picture that you've seen probably floating around I definitely seen on Instagram, but that picture or the reel or whatever, where the person, you got two people digging. There's one person that'll dig for a little bit, then they go to another spot. Dig for a little bit, then go to another spot. Dig for a little bit, then go to another spot. They don't get anything. They don't reach the goal. But there's this other person on the other side that's just digging in the same spot. Digging. And then finally, boom, bam, they hit the goal. They hit the jackpot. I want you to be that person that find what works for you and you stay consistent with it. And no matter what's going on, you're like, hey, I'm pivoting where I need to pivot. I'm making adjustments where I need to make adjustments, but I'm not letting this go. If you know that it's for you, like, if it's for you. Some of y'all just be doing stuff just because it sounds good. Like, I have people now talking about futures trading and stuff. I'm like, I hear y'all, but why are you doing futures trading now when you've been on a Forex bandwagon forever? Now with, okay, I got it. Maybe Forex wasn't for you, but that's not everybody. Forex is for me. Stocks, I feel it that it's for me. Those are going to be my two go-tos. Futures is okay, maybe I'll do it one day, but it's not like I'm ready to jump on someone else's bandwagon. No, I'm good, because I have Forex. Now, am I going to eventually do it so that way I can have another way of trading? Probably, but I'm not saying I'm about to do it right now, because my focus is now learning stocks more, because I invest in the stock market. I also want to trade options in the stock market. That's my goal, right? So just please, y'all, take your time, be consistent, practice this stuff that you have learned over the past now 4 weeks. Okay. Put those things into practice every single day. Be consistent. Be consistent. Be consistent. All right. All right. It's homework time, y'all. It's homework time. Let's get to it. All right. This is your final homework assignment. We're going to talk about goal setting. Okay. So your homework assignment is where I'm going to need you to write down three realistic trading goals for the next quarter, because we're ending September. Next week, we're in October. That's the last quarter of 2024. So I need you to create those three realistic trading goals for this final quarter so you can set yourself up for 2025. Okay. Now, here's the thing, y'all. I need you to ensure that these goals focus on process-oriented outcomes. Example, I need you to execute a strategy consistently. So when you learn a strategy, say, hey, look, for the next 90 days, I'm working that strategy and that strategy alone. I'm not bouncing from here, there, and everywhere. No. Next quarter, I'm only focusing on this one strategy. Next quarter, I'm only trading these things. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm staying in this lane. Either I'm only staying with Forex, or I'm only staying with currency pairs, or I'm only staying with this. Whatever it is, I need you to pick it. Okay? Establish that. If you want to learn more about AI, hey, I'm going to start researching how I can implement AI into my trading to help me elevate and improve my results. If that's something, but I need you to be very specific. I need it to be process oriented. Okay. Because now you can go back and say, have I learned this strategy? Was I exposed to this strategy? Yes. Okay. So if I started learning this strategy, let's say October 1st, now I'm going to make note of how my results are coming from this one strategy that I started October 1st, from October 1st to December 31st, 2024. Everybody got it? If you got it, let me know. Say, I got it, Leona. Say, I got it, Leona. Let me go back. All right. If I don't see I got it, it's okay. But I said it multiple times, okay? So this is it. Wrapping up this series, and I'm going to leave you with a few things. I'm going to ask you to do a few things as we wrap this up, okay? And then if you have any questions, feel free, type it in the chat. Type it in the comments if you're watching a replay. Don't forget, y'all, hit that thumbs up on YouTube, like, or hit the heart on Facebook. Share this video. Also, make sure that you hit the subscribe button as well as the notification bell on YouTube if you have not done so already. Okay, and also Facebook, follow if you're not following already. Follow this page, okay? So these are a few things that I'm going to ask of you as we wrap this up. Number one, I need you to practice self-compassion. Okay, trading is a journey, y'all, and it's normal to experience setbacks, but we don't want to, beat ourselves up so much to where we're like, oh man, this isn't gonna work. This isn't for me. Okay, give yourself a little bit of grace. Be patient with yourself. Show yourself a little love, because especially if you're new to trading, if you sat it down and you're coming back, it's like riding the bike. You're gonna get it, but you have to just be patient with yourself. Okay, so practice self-compassion. That's number one. Number two, journal. Okay, remember, journaling helps you to pivot when necessary, but it also shows you when you're on the right track. So it also helps you to build up that confidence. So journal. That is number two. Okay, number three is practice mindfulness. Practice mindfulness. Practice mindfulness. You got to make sure that you're preparing yourself. Your environment is set up for you to have a really great trading experience. Not a session, but just a really great trading experience. No matter the outcome, the experience turns out to be great because you set yourself up for that. Okay, so practice that mindfulness. Make sure you're practicing those breathing exercises, visualization, meditation, whichever one you want to do those things. Also, another thing that I want you to do as we wrap this up, because it's kind of recapping the whole series, is if you find yourself like struggling again at some point, go back to doing those micro trades. Okay. And I would even say go so far as to do what I did. If you feel like you may be not feeling your best, like you may feel overwhelmed or feel worried or whatever, like you can't pinpoint it, but you're like, maybe that's what it is. I would say into the trades and watch them. If you have the time, watch them, but take note of how you're feeling. What thoughts are coming across your mind while you're watching the candlesticks move up and down? What thoughts are coming into your mind? How are you feeling? Are you tensing up? Right? Do you feel like a little bit of heart palpitations is coming? What is it? Because if you're finding yourself in those positions, that means you're not managing your emotions well. So now we have to go back to square one, which is identifying that trading trauma. What's that trigger for us? Okay. Last thing, y'all, invite some people, invite viewers to share their progress in, I said, invite some people to watch this live stream. But I also want you to make sure that you share in the comments some of the things that you learned from this series, and also how you have personally started to overcome your trading trauma. Okay. And anything that you want to share, put it in the comments, but also make sure you invite some people somebody that you know to watch this series because it may help them. And this way, when you invite them to watch the replay of this series and you have commented some of the things that you've experienced, that may help them to see, oh, it's not just me. Leona saying it on the video, but this person typed this in the comments. So, okay, got it. I don't feel bad because it's not just me. All right. So those are some of the things that I want you to do as we wrap this up. Thank you so very much. If you have watched every single part of this series, thank you. You are ready. You're ready. I just need you to continue to believe in yourself, continue to be consistent, and then of course you're going to see the results that you want to see in due time as you trade. All right. And then last thing, y'all, don't forget, hit the like button, hit the notification bell, hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. And don't forget Facebook, y'all follow if you're not following the Prosperity Calls page. And then also y'all share because sharing is caring. So next week I will be back with a new series. I am going to be doing a poll on Instagram and Facebook, my Prosperity Calls Instagram and Facebook pages. So please make sure you tune in to the stories on there and then vote, because I'm going to give a couple of options on things that I'm thinking that the community wants to hear about as far as creating a series for the month of October. And whichever one gets the most votes, that's what I create the series on for the next month. And then also, friendly reminder, y'all, I will not be going live on tomorrow night for the Forex Live Market Analysis. I have some stuff that is really, really important I got to get done, so I can't do both. All right, so I'll be back on that on October the 6th, okay? That'll be back at 10 p.m. Eastern, 9 p.m. Central, and 7 p.m. Pacific, all right? So that is it, y'all. I hope this helped you. If it did, let me know in the comments. When you're watching the replay, let me know in the comments. And I'm looking forward to hearing a lot of great things from you all on how this has helped you to trade much better and to have a much better, emotional experience when you are entering these markets. All right, so that's all I have. I'm going to leave y'all my favorite quote as always, and that is from the legend. His name is Arthur Ashe, and he says to start where you are, use what you have, and do what you can. Y'all have a wonderful weekend, and I will see y'all next week for our new series within this community. All right, that's it. Bye, y'all. See y'all next week.